Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Air Kitty, and happy holidays. You know, happy whatever you're celebrating. I don't feel like going through the list of all the different winter holidays that happen in December, as well as going into January. So, happy holidays. This video is gonna be more of a Christmas video though, so hopefully you're not offended. However, I did want to ask, there's a lot of holiday movies out there. Some that deal with Kwanzaa, some that deal with Hanukkah, and there's a plethora of movies that deal with Christmas. And I'm interested to know, what were some of your favorites that you watch, during the holidays? Are some of your favorites the TV specials, like the Rugrats one for Hanukkah, as well as maybe even the Proud Families TV special for Kwanzaa? What about the plethora of, Christmas movies? Santa Claus is coming to town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Klaus, even Nightmare Before Christmas, even though personally I don't count that as a Christmas movie. That's not a Christmas movie. That's a Halloween movie to me. Sorry, it's not Christmas. It's Halloween. There's more Halloween that happens in it than Christmas, so yeah. But have you guys ever heard of this one animated movie called Babes in Toyland? No? I don't blame you. It was kind of an obscure one for the day, and I think half of the reason why a lot of people probably don't know about it is because of the fact of it was actually slated for a theatrical release at the time, but the company in charge of producing the movie decided instead that they were just going to do a direct to VHS. So, not a lot of people, I'm sure, knew about this movie. There's not a lot of information on the movie, even online. I mean, there's a Wikipedia page and stuff like that, and there's some, movie databases that obviously recognize that it existed. But I don't see much cult followings for this. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So, the movie came out in 1997 on VHS. They did actually re-release it in 2004 to DVD. It was produced by MGM Animation, which is obviously a smaller company off of the bigger company MGM. Obviously, I won't give it too much credit, but it is still really nice. One of the things that kind of, I hate to say it, probably doesn't bump it into like that A tier list, maybe more into like a B tier movie, is the fact of some of the voices that they got. The movie featured voices such as
Christopher Plummer, James Belushi, Bronson Pinchot, and Charles Nelson Riley.
Yeah, and I don't know who the frick any of those people are. Their voices do sound very familiar, to which, after checking some of their IBM DB pages, IMDb pages, I have a lot of acronyms to memorize on a day-to-day basis. Don't come at me for this. But when I checked that, I did see that they did star in some movies, but I believe that they were later on after Babes in Toyland. So Babes in Toyland, for I think many of these voice actors, was their launching off point in a sense. But so as fate would have it, actually, I do have the DVD edition right here. Obviously, mine is not in the best condition, simply because of the fact of I think I bought it for like $2 at Goodwill. But it is a really cute movie. And like even the back of the movie here, you can see some of our main characters. And something really cool I found out about the movie is I did rewatch it today just to kind of give myself a little bit of a boost to the memory, to relive that nostalgia. And I noticed actually some of the characters look very akin to Don Bluth's character style. You got Frat Boy with his typical 90s, on either side, but cut short haircut, the surfer skater dude haircut. There's a lot of characters, like especially like some like the villains, just like the side characters. They got them like the big bottom lip that hangs over. The proportion sizes on a lot of the characters are just like, wacky and silly. And come to find out, actually, one of the directors, actually, the producers of this movie, who I believe was one of the people in charge of the art style of it, was actually Don Bluth's brother, Toby Bluth. Kind of a nice little reference there. And so the Babes in Toyland movie says it's everyone's favorite nursery rhyme characters come magically and musically to life in this delightful animated adventure based on the classic holiday tale, featuring the voices of
Christopher Plummer, James Belushi, Bronson Pinchot, and Charles Nelson Riley.
Babes in Toyland is a wonderful, tune-filled tale that will delight the entire family time and again. It's 2 days before Christmas, and the Toyland Toy Factory has just received its biggest order ever. But the evil Barnaby, who doesn't believe in toys, I guess he doesn't believe toys exist. He's one of those people. How dare he? Has plans to shut the factory down and spoil the holiday for everyone. Now it's up to Jack and Jill to stop Barnaby's plot and save Christmas. It was funny because as a child, I had the original VHS tape as a child. Obviously, years later, we got rid of a lot of our VHS tapes, which I'm really sad about because I wish I had kept them. But we would watch this when we were going to bed. That was our bedtime routine as a kid, was we would watch movies going to bed. But as a child, it was funny because I actually didn't really think of this as a Christmas movie because while it was surrounded around the idea of Christmas, in a sense, for some reason, it didn't have the typical Christmas movie magic, we'll just say. And I mean, that's not to necessarily say that it was a bad thing, actually, because I guess in my case, I see it as a really good thing. Christmas was kind of the side plot of this movie, it felt like. There was a lot more going on in the movie that took more priority than Santa. Move away, Santa. You know, the toy factory here is the main character. The toy factory itself is the main plot line, okay? So, I actually kind of like that, actually, instead. Because it's one of those subtle Christmas movies, is what I'll call it. It's a subtle Christmas movie. Now, as much as this was a childhood favorite of mine, apparently it did not do as well in reception back in the day. I guess in some ways, a lot of people just kind of saw this as like a meh movie. Like, it was serviceable, it did its job. And I guess for me, it's like, there were some areas where it did fall down. There were some plot holes in the movie for me that didn't really get cleared up. And even now as an adult, I'm just like, was there two Marys? Like, in this universe where all these, nursery rhyme characters exist, are they allowed to have duplicates? Is that not considered a doppelganger kind of idea, even if they don't look the same? Like, if you have two Marys that had little lambs, is that not weird to people? Because they had that in this movie, and I didn't understand it. On top of that, though, a quote that I found on the Wikipedia page for the movie about the reception was, so apparently this one critic named Bill Gibron said that the movie was a waste of time and talent. And I hate to say it, but it's kind of a typical critic thing to say. I feel like critics are usually going to give a really bad review or really, really good review. It's never somewhere in the middle. A lot of places kind of put this somewhere kind of like right in the middle. To them, it wasn't very good, but it was serviceable. That's kind of the word I'm using with this movie. It was serviceable. TV Guide gave it like a 3 out of 5 stars. IMDb gave 4.8 out of 10 stars. And then Rotten Tomatoes, granted, I feel like everyone's kind of a critic on Rotten Tomatoes. They give a 42%. So less than really half. So kind of more on the bad side. But obviously, this movie couldn't have been all bad because actually, something else I did find out while looking through the IMDb pages was that 2 of the voice actors actually did receive nominations at the Annie Awards for their vocal talents. I guess not all bad reception. I guess there was some good that came out of this. But on top of those Annie Awards, And what kind of tells me that the reception really wasn't that bad when it came to the actual audience that was watching this was the fact that it actually got its own PC game as well. Kind of a shocker to me because I did not learn that it had its own PC game until like 2 or 3 years ago. About that time. The PC game, though, they didn't advertise it at all. Even though, oddly enough, in this box, you will find that they advertise the heck out of their own games. I actually had to check my list to see if I had the games that they were advertising. One of them I do have, the other one I don't. But so, this is what we're going to be playing today. Kind of in honor of Christmas, although the idea of if I'm going to be able to get this out on Christmas or not is kind of the biggest question right now. Maybe, maybe not. If I do, great. If I don't, it's okay. It's still a winter-esque game. But so, with this box, this is the interactive adventure. We're going to laugh and learn in the magic of Toyland with games, songs, puzzles, and more. And apparently we're going to explore 9 worlds for hours of fun. I will admit, though, I did already play this game. I messed up on the recording the first time. I didn't have my mic on, so I did a whole recording with no vocals. But I can tell you right now, there was not 9 worlds. I do like, however, that there is a National Parenting Publication Award for 1997, and it's the Gold Award. I see a lot of games that put a lot of these, really not even just games, I see a lot of products and services that put awards like out there for people to see, to associate with them, and really the rewards are kind of bogus. I mean, it's not to say that they don't deserve them, but they're like fluff rewards kind of idea. I can't lie, but it's kind of like getting a certificate and like being able to use Microsoft Office products. Everybody knows how to use Microsoft Office products. You're just special because you got a reward for it. That's the only thing special about it, is you actually went out to go get an actual reward for it. But just like in the job industry, the fact that you have the certificate and nobody else does is pretty impressive as is. The box also boasts that we could get a free Humpty Dumpty toy. Not inside, though. I was very upset to find out that it wasn't actually going to be in the box. It unfortunately was one of those ones where you had to order it in advance. Like, there's an order form in here, and you would go ahead and send the order form out. And then they would send it to you, 2 weeks later. But the offer expired back in January of 1998. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to order that at all. However, I do want to go on eBay and find, try to find one to see if I can add it to my plushies collection. Because it looks like it's actually of really good quality. I think the only things missing from this plushie is the little yellow buttons that are on Humpty Dumpty's suit, like the double-breasted gold buttons that went down the center. As well as the fact of his hat was not green, as it's shown in the picture. The other thing I also really love about this game is that it's also using a retired rating. It's using the early childhood development rating, which was EC. And I don't remember when that was retired. I think actually it was retired in the 2010s, I believe. It actually managed to last until the 2010s, but the only reason why it lasted that long is because I think the people behind the rating system just kind of forgot about it. Because I want to say that by the late 2000s, nobody was using EC anymore. There were a few games, I remember there were some PlayStation games in the 2000s that did release on that rating, but yeah, by 2010, by at least 2010. Nobody was using that. On the back of the box, we do get some images of the minigames that are available, as well as obviously the system requirements. And it does boast to have a customer satisfaction guaranteed. And if I'm not satisfied, am I going to give this back? Absolutely not. No. This is now a collector's item. And I am such a collector. But the game boasts the famous tagline of the movie, "It's toy time," and then goes on to explain that we're going to be entering an enchanting, magical world with babes in Toyland and interactive adventure, inspired by the musical animated movie. Join Humpty Dumpty, Jack and Jill, and a cast of everyone's favorite nursery rhyme characters for fun-filled music, games, puzzles, and more that not only entertain but also teach valuable early learning skills. And when they mean early, they mean between the ages of 3 and 8. I typically associate early learning skills with meaning prior to hitting kindergarten, but okay. And obviously, even though I've played the game, I will save my thoughts on the game until after we've played it. But there are a few things inside other than just the game itself. So obviously, for one, we have the game, and on the back of their game, they actually have an advertisement for All Dogs Go to Heaven, the Activity Center. I checked my list, my playbook list. That's actually what I have it labeled on my computer. It's called the playbook. It's my list of all the pieces of media that I have in my possession, as well as ones that I want. And All Dogs Go to Heaven, the Activity Center, is not one that I actually have, I believe. No, I do, actually. No, I do? I do. I don't. I don't have it. So, that is one that we're going to have to get at a later date. The other thing that this game came with, along with a bunch of order forms and advertisements as well, was it also came with this huge manual. Now, I don't know a lot of games that did this huge manual. I think actually there was a Barbie game. I think it was maybe Barbie and Rapunzel that I have it, where they have a huge manual book like this. I believe it would have come with the games that had the big boxes, like the one that I showed down there. But I actually kind of I really just miss the manual stage in general. The manual itself doesn't exactly have anything really like fun or kooky in it like the Rugrats ones did. But it's just nice to have like a bigger, book to look at. Obviously, some of the things that they do boast is the idea that there is a troubleshooting page in which I actually, again, miss this. Like, I miss the idea of having the troubleshooting pages with the game in a sense to say, hey, we understand that there's going to be some compatibility issues. If you're having issues, here are some common things that you can try. Obviously, this was back before the internet was, I guess, more widely used in a way like this, where you could pose a question to the development team and they could answer it back, or you could even reach out to other players and be like, hey, I'm having this issue, and literally within hours to even days, you could get an answer back. So you have the basic ones like, hey, I'm only hearing audio out of one speaker, the game turned a lot of weird colors, or the printing isn't working. But then I love this. I tried entering a name/word with a space in it into one of the sign-in balloons in the beginning of the game and received an underscore character. Why is this here and how can I make it go away? It didn't really bother me that much because obviously the name that I use for this channel and the name that I use to sign in for games or put in for characters' names has a space in it, so didn't bother me. But it says, unfortunately, you can't make it go away or keep it from happening. This feature was implemented to minimize complications during gameplay, and so the game could differentiate between names, words, etc. Apparently what they're saying was, it was too freaking hard to program a space in names and put that into a different variable. So, sorry kid, You're SOL. The other one I love is about one of the mini games. Actually, it says, I almost finished the Humpty Dumpty mini game, and Scat, yes, that is one of the names of the characters, Scat, the cat. This should prove how evil Barnaby is. He named his cat Deer Poop. Now, if that isn't just about the most evil thing that I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is. But apparently Scat the cat keeps messing it up. How can I stop him from doing this? I'm actually very confused about the gender of Scat, too, because it says here that Scat is a boy, but I think in the movie, they said near the end at least, like, Scat was actually a girl. I remember that being very confusing to me, even as a child, where I was like, wait, I thought Scat was a boy. I didn't think Scat was a girl. I guess Scat is just going to be an ambiguous gender. Scat can be a boy at times, Scat can be a girl at times. Scat just wants to be what it wants to be. So, whatever. But the answer the team gave is, no problem. Just click on him with the cursor. This is the same as shooing him away. I'm actually glad I read this a second time, because I actually didn't know that you could do that. I basically just raw dogged it. I just kept going until I got it before Scat came back. So I did not know that. The other thing I do like about this is the fact that they put an entire section on how to handle the software itself. And there are some pretty valid ones in here, like, granted, it is kind of surprising that you do have to put this into this list, like, such as, do not bend or crush the disc, or make sure to keep the CD clean, always hold the CD by the edges and keep it in its protective case when not in use. I think the fastest way to send me into an aneurysm, not to give anybody any ideas, but the fastest way to send me into an aneurysm state is for someone to hold a disc like this. Or like this. Obviously, I'm just holding the case to demonstrate, but pretend that was an actual CD. It drives me absolutely insane when people have a disc that they're going to be using. Not like a disc that, like, they're going to be cleaning up or repurposing because it's really, really scratched or something like that. You know, and it can't be played. But when they have a perfectly pristine disc and they just grab it with their fingers on the reflective bit and get their grubby little fingerprints all over it. It was perfect, and now you've ruined it. I hope you're ashamed of yourself. But thankfully on that topic, though, they do actually have a step for how to clean the CD. Granted, surprisingly, they don't tell you what to clean it with, and they do tell you not to submerge the CD in liquid, to which, no, you should not submerge the CD in any liquids or water or something like that. However, though, I'm not necessarily promoting it because I think it probably does damage the disc a little bit, but not enough to be unplayable. But when I actually have to clean off my CDs, like if I get a shipment of like a whole lot of CDs, and of course they're all in varying states, and some of them are like, you know, surface scratches. Like there's some surface scratches that I need to fix that so that the game can read it. My usual way of doing things is I used Crest toothpaste. I will, you know, rub it in with my finger because I have to clean it anyway, so it's not going to matter if I get fingerprints on it at that point. Let it sit for 5 minutes. And then, kind of following up with this instruction, then clean the CD with a lint-free, soft, dry cloth. So like a microfiber cloth, or rather like, you know, like a dish rag or a face cloth will do. Do not clean your CD-ROMs with like tissues or something. Those will definitely scratch up the disc. I've learned from experience, unfortunately. Cotton balls, like makeup cotton balls that you can get at the store for like $1, like an entire bag of the large ones. Those are also fine to clean the disc with. Those work fine. Just obviously be very, very gentle. And that's even with the rag as well. Be very, very gentle. Do not press really, really hard on the CD when you're wiping it. And they do actually tell you to wipe straight from the center of the CD to the outer edge, which, yes, you should clean your disc that way. It also says never to use solvents, cleaners, or violently strong acids when cleaning the CD. So yeah, don't be cleaning your CDs with like sulfuric acid or something. I know that that's a good solution to literally clean anything, but if you've got to wear gloves to put on your CD or to put it on something so it don't clean you, probably shouldn't be putting it on a CD. But yeah, like I said, I typically use toothpaste to clean the CDs. You know, it's safe. It's, you know, it's something that I've seen recommended a bunch online. There are obviously actual CD cleaners. In the past, it's always been hit or miss for me. A lot of times, the plastic, especially the cheap ones, I would not recommend getting the cheap CD cleaners. Just because they actually will typically cause more scratches on the CD. So yeah, just don't use those. Just use a rag. But yeah, then after the CD has dried off, and I will run the CD under some water, like I would gently run it under some water to get the remaining toothpaste off. Obviously, once it dries, I then go in with rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is fine to use on CDs. If it can be used to clean a motherboard, I think it should be fine with a CD. And again, it's, I think, another thing that's been recommended a lot for cleaning up CDs. You can use rubbing alcohol with a, cotton ball. And I use it just obviously to get off like any dried water droplets, like any of the staining on it, or any like fingerprints that may have gotten missed. So yeah, those are just my tips for how to clean CDs, along with the tips provided by Babes in Toyland. But yeah, and there's not really much special about the CD itself. Obviously, it's kind of got this like cardboard kind of cutout thing. Obviously, the disc is not in here. Oh no, where did it go? It's in the computer. Don't worry, it's safe. But there's obviously like just some like instructions for how to set the game up. There's a little blurb here about the game itself, pretty similar to what was on the box, so I'm not even going to bother reading it. And then obviously there's the navigation and controls on the other side. And there's not much to the navigation and the controls on here. Really, there's just use the mouse. Those are your controls. But that is everything so far that I have on Babes in Toyland. I mean, not to say that there's really much else out there. I mean, there could be. But I think we're now ready to get into the game itself. So, give me a minute to set up, and I'll show you what the Babes in Toyland interactive adventure game was like. Yeah, honestly, so changing this to 256 color mode didn't really work for me, so it'll be fine. It didn't affect the performance at all, trust me.
Look, Jack, another bag of toys ready for Santa.
Good thing, Jill, 'cause Santa's almost here.
Hey, what's going on?
Crooked Man Barnaby is throwing the toys all over Toyland.
Quick, let's go find the toys before Santa gets here.
And there is a little bit of a delay on, like, literally everything. It does not matter if you change the colors or whatever. It doesn't matter. And I am going to talk a little bit over the music because it might be copyrighted.
Welcome. To enter Toyland, select the balloon with your name on it. If this is your first visit, type in your name and select your new balloon.
I'm actually kind of interested to know, like, if I just go to my game, does it just restart it?
Hi, ready for another search?
Just choose a place to start looking for toys.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm playing this with true colors and everything, so it doesn't seem to have affected it too much. I did set it to the 256 colors prior just to see if it did anything differently. No, it's about the same, pretty much. But yeah, so this is the intro into Toys or Babes in Toyland. It is kind of funny though, because obviously one thing you'll notice if you actually have seen the film is that obviously none of the original voice actors like came back for the video game. I don't know if it's just they didn't ask them or they're like, we don't have the budget for them anymore. But the original voice actors are no longer here to do their characters. So unfortunately, we will not be getting their beautiful voices back. However, obviously, we do get the character likeness and everything.
The Balloon Man may have seen a missing toy.
We will get to that. Santa can wait. So the other fun thing about this game too that I figured out was that I actually didn't even need to install this game. I just clicked on the game from the CD-ROM drive, and it showed a screen that looked like one of the installation screens, like the blue kind of gradient screen with the big white text in the corner. It only showed up for like a second, that was gone. So yeah, you can just play this right off the CD. You don't even need to install it. It's perfect. Doesn't take up any space on my computer, which I love. But yeah, so our main characters are Jack and Jill and Woofy. You do see Humpty Dumpty over there. There's one of the factory workers, the clown. And obviously we have to look for 9 different toys in these 9 different locations. Everything near the front of the screen is really actually more like the options. So you've got your exit down here in the corner.
Exit.
You've got your difficulty settings here. 1 is obviously the easiest and 3 is actually the hardest. I played this on the hardest difficulty, so I'm actually kind of wondering what happens if I go to the easiest difficulty.
Level 1, easy.
I know this is for an early childhood development game, so the difficulty settings are obviously going to not be very difficult for me. But even on 3, it wasn't much of a challenge, so I'm kind of wondering what the challenge, what the curve is here. We have Jack and Jill who don't do anything. We do have the sack, which
2, 3.
Which I apparently have all of the toys for. To which, no, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna delete my...
Goodbye.
We're going to the main menu. We're gonna delete my thing and we're gonna put another one.
Thanks for visiting Toyland. Use the small exit doorway to leave now. Press the balloon with your name on it to return to Toyland.
Oh, and before I forget, because you can only get this from this screen, I think.
For a quick guest visit, enter through the front doorway.
But there are the credits in this game. So I just really quickly wanted to show that off. I don't remember if they show it at the end after you complete the little objective, but in case we don't get there, you can actually get there from here. Like with this. Thanks for playing. Okay, delete mine. And type in a new name. You know, the same name.
Hi, you're new here, aren't you? You can help us find all the missing toys before Santa comes.
Just choose a place to start looking for toys.
Yay! So yeah, that's the beginning of this game. I actually didn't realize I already had some toys in here. This is actually not a place where we do anything, I guess. This is just more like a help center.
Psst, I'm the secret tower guard. Come over here
Let's go
when you
see
need
what's
some
on the
help.
clock tower.
Excuse you, Jill. The secret clock tower guy was talking. Don't be rude.
Crooked Man Barnaby threw 9 toys out. If you find them all, you'll be a hero.
I'll be a hero, guys, if I find those toys.
Those blocks make things easy or tough. 1 is easy, but 3, oh boy.
Kinda doubtful, but this is the entire reason why we're doing this.
When Santa comes, the toy bag better be filled with all 9 missing toys.
I think it's funny, because it makes it sound like Santa is literally on his way. If you take too long, Santa's gonna be real mad about it. And I'm like, that doesn't bode well for me. Okay.
The toys scattered all over, so you have to search everywhere to find them.
Yeah, and that's really all the piece of advice that I remember hearing from this tower guard. But yeah, so we've got all of these different places that we can choose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the left side of the screen and work my way to the right side of the screen. So the first one, and actually not really the hardest minigame, but I guess the most terrible place in this universe is the Goblin Forest.
It's a goblin! Shine the flashlight on it.
What I really like about this is that you can just hold down the left mouse button to just keep the flashlight on.
There's a missing toy. Shine the flashlight on it.
That was significantly easier than the other game, or the other difficulty level. Because one of the things you're not supposed to do is you're not supposed to shine the flashlight on the green eyes, because you'll wake the owls. But now we have to look in the dark for this toy. Oh wait, there it is.
We got it! Now let's get back to Toyland.
One down, 8 more toys to go.
I will say Jack seems exceptionally happy. And it was funny because I kind of debated where this was happening in the timeline of this movie, because I'm like, it can't be after the movie ended, because obviously, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to assume in the movie Barnaby is no more. There were also some other elements in the movie that changed with certain characters, and that's obviously not the case here. So, my assumption is that this takes place during the movie. Like when Barnaby's starting his crap and everything, and the kids are finally in town. So, they're basically just trying to get back stolen toys. But yeah. So, a little bit of continuity problems there, but, you know, I'll forgive it. It's a kid's game. So, the next place after the Goblin Forest is actually Barnaby's house itself. Oh wow, that's just gonna continue, okay.
There's a toy way up there.
I'll climb up and get it.
It's just controlled with the mouse. So you just hover left and right to go left and right, and then the jump you just click. What I do find kind of funny though... Actually, okay, I can't click on the door or anything. Actually, can I? Oh, no, I can't go in the door, okay. But yeah, so as you get to places that need climbing or something, like you have to click on them, and then you have to
Get down from there, young man.
you have to like actually like click on the thing.
I'll allow no children or toys in my
Barnaby
house.
took the toy inside the house. Let's go look for it.
Hey, give Woofy back to me.
Not so fast. First, you'll have to find him.
Which shell is Woofy under?
This one.
Oh, blast!
We found Woofy.
There's the missing toy. Quick, let's get out of here.
Two toys. We're getting the hang of this.
Yay! Yeah, and if you can't tell what nursery rhyme character Barnaby is, so his full name is actually Barnaby Crooked Man. And so obviously he's the nursery rhyme of the Crooked Man, with the crooked cat down the crooked mile in the
A
crooked
toy
house.
might have fallen on that shoe house.
Awesome, that's where we're gonna go next. But yeah, so one thing I'm kind of not keeping in my head is I have this on difficulty 1. So, the Crooked Man house, what makes it a little bit more difficult is the fact of, so Barnaby will throw things onto the level to mess you up, kind of like Donkey Kong style in a sense. But on the other side of the house where the vultures are, there is a ball that goes back and forth, and obviously if you hit that ball, it's game over. Well, game over for that mini game, you have to do it again. There is a difficulty curve here, I guess, but again, it's not very difficult. But alright, let's go to the old woman in the shoe with the 10,000 children.
There's a toy hanging from the shoe house window. Let's go inside.
Hello, can we climb up your shoe house to get a missing toy?
Why, of course, dears. But first, help me gather my children. Find the 4 children hiding in this room, please.
Yes, Grandmama. And now this game is a little different. I don't know how the difficulty setting is going to be on this one, but when you go on level 3, the number of the children obviously is increased on how many you have to find. But on top of that, when you find the children, they don't stay on the screen. So, like, you'll click on furniture items or doors.
1.
And so, like, we have the one child, but on the first, I don't know how it is on the first difficulty, but on the third difficulty, the children start to disappear after some time. So you have to be kind of quick and, you know, start
2.
kind of like clicking around the room quickly. Because I thought it was going to be like this, where it was like, once I found them, I found them.
3. 4.
We got all of them.
Count the 5 children in this room, if you would.
1. 2. 3. 4.
I really want to know how some of these kids are Houdiniing out of places.
5.
All done with this room.
Look for the 6 children hiding in this room, would ya?
1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6.
We did it.
Well done, young ones. Now run along and fetch that missing toy.
There's the toy. I think I can reach it.
Watch out, Jack.
Whoa!
Are you okay, Jack?
Yeah, it was nuttin'. Let's get going. 6 toys left and Santa's almost here.
He's not almost here, guys. One thing I also realized as well...
A toy could have fallen on the bridge.
That's great! But one thing I realized as I was playing this game, and I'm kind of wondering right now, how are they actually controlling that wagon that they're in? Like, how are they driving? Is it a motorized wagon? Are there pedals in there somewhere? I don't know. Let's go to the toy factory next.
There's a toy up on the factory whistle. If we play a tune on the giant piano, the whistle will blow the toy down.
So this one's actually kind of fun. You can play different tunes. My favorite is Pig. So these are actual renditions of songs from the game. You don't play many notes, but you do get to play them. And it will play the song back later. Or afterwards. So I kind of actually want to see what other songs they have. Because they do have the Crooked Man song. Which actually from the movie is my favorite. Like, I can't lie, but a lot of movies from like the early 2000s or the 90s. Like these animated ones. The villain song is always fire. Okay? Like, it is always the best one. So we've got the Dream song. What other songs we got?
It's break time. Play anything you like.
And the only way that I can get a new song, I think, is through free play mode. So I could play that, but I'm not going to.
Meh.
There's the Toyland song. Actually, can I click on Jill? No. Okay.
It's break time. Play anything you like.
Meh.
Toyland
It's
song.
break time. Play anything you like.
Meh.
It's break time. Play anything you like.
Blah.
So it seems like there's only 3 songs. There's Crooked Man, Dream Song, Toyland Song. Which I'm going to guess are kind of like their critically acclaimed songs, the ones that were the most popular and did the best. Again, my favorite is Crooked Man, so I'm going to go ahead and play that one.
Blah. 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 Blah.
We got it.
Yeah, and I don't know if the song is going to be copyrighted, so I'm just going to say some stuff over it. It's a really cool song. Jill is having a seizure from the song, which I feel really bad about. Sorry about that, Jill.
We got it. Now let's explore the factory.
But yeah, hopefully you were able to hear it from behind my talking. Obviously, I think one thing I forgot to mention about this as well is the fact of if you would like to go see the movie yourself, you actually don't need to find it on DVD. It is actually playing for free on Pluto TV. Obviously, there will be ads in between the movie itself. But again, if you're interested in watching the movie for yourself and maybe making it a Christmas, tradition for you, go ahead and watch it. Another thing I did realize, though, is the fact of the little reference to Donald Duck in the background here. What is this music? And there are some things that you can click on, like, in the background that I like. But let's go into the factory. This actually has nothing, like, you're not going to get a toy from this. It's just a fun little thing to do on the side. Kind of like the free play mode of the
These
piano.
buttons control the toy machine. Let's change the controls to make a new toy.
So yeah, the toys are just going to come out as is. So they start out as this. And then these controls, change the toy itself. So this controls whether you want the toy to actually be produced or if you're just gonna toss it. I don't really want this toy produced, so I'm gonna toss it for now.
Keep changing the switches till you have the perfect toy.
Right. So this changes the orientation of the toy itself. So you can have it upright or you can have it standing on its head. I'm gonna change it back to upright for a moment. You can change the actual toy itself. So you got Surfer Dude, you got Baby
Use
Soldier.
the brown lever to send the toys up or into the recycle hopper.
You got Chef Soldier. You got either Soldier Lady or Drag Soldier. You got Regular Soldier. And that's it.
When you're all done, use the stop button to stop the machine.
Thanks. And then you have colors. So I think the one that we were currently looking at was red. This is the blue variant of the soldier. This is the green variant. And this is the wacky soldier.
Keep changing the switches till you have the perfect toy.
I personally like the wacky paint job on it. Although I am kind of wondering which one has the best design. Surfer Dude isn't too bad. Baby, I don't care for that one. Chef, though, is pretty nice. Drag Soldier, not so much. Regular Soldier, it's just the hat that's changed. I think it's gonna be Surfer Dude. Oh wait, no, we gotta change the orientation of Surfer Dude though. He needs to be upside down, doing cool tricks. So 2 children are gonna get Surfer Dude upright.
When you're all done, use the stop button to stop the machine.
Hold on, I gotta produce my toys. So that all the children of the world can have upside down Surfer Dude soldiers.
Keep changing the switches till you have the perfect toy.
But yeah, like 10 soldiers is good.
All done, Jill. Let's go back outside.
It's a limited edition toy, that's what we're gonna call it.
We're almost halfway done.
Yay! So now we're gonna go to the iconic clock tower.
There's a toy up on the tower. Let's use those toy soldiers to get it down.
Bye, Humpty Dumpty. So I'm not exactly sure what the rules of this game are, but I'm just gonna assume that's like... you can't have a big soldier on top of a little soldier.
I get it. We should put the taller ones on the bottom.
What if it's too high?
I get it. We should put the taller ones on the bottom.
Okay, all the little soldiers now. Come on, little dude, go. Oh, okay.
I get it. We should put the taller ones on the bottom.
I'm just really interested to know, like, the fail scene, what do those look like?
Thank you. Now let's get back to the wagon. 4 toys still missing. We better get moving.
Right. Alright, so the first... or the easiest difficulty for the bridge game. I don't know how this is gonna go.
Hi, Mr. Dumpty.
Hi, kids.
Watch out! Scat's right behind you.
Whoa!
Mr. Dumpty!
Quick, let's move the pieces back together over the shadow.
And apparently we are timed while doing this.
There's Scat!
No! Go!
Nasty cat, we've got to keep him away from Humpty.
Trust me, I'm trying here, okay? So yeah, he discombobulates quite a few pieces.
Oh, I'm as good as new. Thanks, kids.
Look! It's a missing toy.
Thanks, Mr. Dumpty. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, kind of sucks that we
Only
don't have
3
their
more
voice
toys
actors.
to find for Santa.
I really wish that we would have had their original voice actors do these, like, characters, but, I guess it's okay. But alright, it's kind of a toss-up between the well and the clown. I'm gonna do the well because the clown kind of scares me a little bit.
Those ducks have fallen into the well. Let's pick them up with the bucket. Try not to scoop up a fish.
What happens if I scoop up a fish?
Be careful not to pick up a fish.
Oh, it just resets it. Also, why do these ducks look battered and bruised?
We got 2 in 1 scoop. 3.
4. Look! There's the missing toy ship. Let's bring it up.
We did it. Now let's get back to Toyland.
Only 2 more. I think we're gonna make it.
Yay! Alright, clown man.
Hey, kids, if you can match the pictures behind these balloons, have I got a surprise for you. Just select 2 balloons at a time, and if the pictures match, the balloons are yours.
Yeah, so on hard difficulty, the difference between this and hard difficulty is the fact of, so you have to match 3 images at a time, which actually I've never seen done in a concentration game. They usually just increase the number of balloons. And obviously I think because of that they do increase the number of balloons as well. This guy though, he not only creeps me out in the fact that he's like, you know, match the balloons and you'll get something special out of it. But on top of that too, I'm like, this guy is a factory worker. He makes the toys. And he has one of the toys that Barnaby tossed overboard of his balloon. Like, I'm just like, this guy is a pedophile in the making, basically. Because I'm like, this dude, like, literally, one of the products that he needs to make sure that Santa gets, he is holding for ransom right now. On children. And I'm like, you know what? I don't really like this dude. I just want to...
Hey, diddle diddle. Grin and bear it.
Yeah.
Hi there.
But yeah, so... away from pedophile clown here, the images on the balloons are actual characters from the movie itself. So, we have Mama Bear.
Grin and bear it.
Papa Bear.
Hey, diddle diddle.
The cat and the fiddle.
Hi there. Hi there.
Yeah!
We also get to see some awkward balloon physics.
Radical.
I'm not really sure who... I think this is Little Boy Blue.
Ouch.
And the moon... or the cow that jumped the moon.
Grin and bear it. Grin and bear it.
Good job.
Ouch. Ouch.
Good job.
Radical. Radical.
Nice work.
Hey, diddle diddle. Hey, diddle diddle.
You're right. We got all the balloons. Where's the surprise?
There's one of the missing toys. Thanks.
Jack, get it and go. Don't...
Wow, one more toy to find.
We're reporting you to their adoptive parents, Mary and Tom. That's one thing I will say about this movie as well, with the nursery rhyme characters. They did actually do a really good job on the nursery rhyme characters. There were some nursery rhyme characters that you didn't see, like Little Boy Blue. And even, like, the old woman in the shoe. I don't think you actually saw those characters in the
Let's
movie.
look on the Toyland train.
But it is kind of funny because there were some cross, like, nursery rhyme stuff. Like, so Mary was actually the one that lived in the shoe. It wasn't an old woman necessarily. And it was kind of funny because one of the main characters, Tom, he's actually the son of the Piper from that nursery rhyme. The train, though, I do like this train minigame because you do actually get to see a lot more of the nursery rhyme characters from the movie.
The conductor asked us to seat everyone in matching pairs. Help me move the passengers so they all match up. Follow the arrows in the aisle to more seats.
Yeah. As well as the fact that you do get to see some people that you didn't get to see in the movie, like these gingerbread people. I think we saw the Mr. Gingerbread, but not the Mrs. And the Prince guy. No, we did see a Prince guy. Well, no, we saw a Knight. But anyways, so you need to be over here with this galley.
Look, Jack, these two match.
Here's Mama Bear and Pop Bear. You need to go here. And we're done.
We're all matching. We did it.
There's a missing toy. Let's get going.
I don't know why a conductor needed us to match them and that people couldn't do it themselves,
We
but
did it.
we did it! And here comes Santa Claus!
Santa.
Ho, ho, ho! Thanks for finding all my missing toys. Here's a special treat just for you. On behalf of the grateful citizens of Toyland, I present you with the Toyland Award for outstanding service to our community. Signed, Santa.
I mean, you didn't really give me a whole lot of options, Santa. It was either that or get Krampus sent on me, I'm pretty sure. I think those were my two options, so I didn't exactly have a choice. But I'm glad I got an award for it. I also love the dating on this picture because it was like they couldn't be bothered to go higher than 2010. They're like, no. World's gonna end in 2000, but just, you know what, maybe in 2010, that might actually be when the world is destroyed. So we'll just say anything higher than 2010. Can't go higher than that. And I have tried to see if I can print this. There is actually a thing about the printing feature not working in the manual, which basically is like, I tried printing out my artwork and it didn't work. What can I do? And all it says is obviously check the connections for the printer to make sure that they're all connected. I mean, obviously the computer's calling my bluff, of course, because it knows full well that I do not have a printer set up for it. So for some of the screenshots that I'll probably put up in the pictures gallery, which you can find in the links on the channel, I'll just have to take screenshots from the actual game itself and call it good. But yeah, so like if I try and print, it's just like, oh good, you printed.
Thanks again. Come back and visit Toyland soon. Now onward!
Yay! His
Goodbye, Santa.
3
Goodbye.
reindeer magically turn into 9. And we're done with the game. That's it. It is very much an activity center kind of game. So,
Thanks for visiting Toyland. Use the small exit doorway to leave now. Press the balloon with your name on it to return to Toyland.
yeah, we'll go soon. But yeah, so that's the entire game. And like I said, it's kind of like an activity center, basically. So there's not much to it. I will say now, having done the easiest difficulty versus the hardest difficulty, I guess if I was in that age range, the target age range, that would probably be a good challenge for some of them. I guess for me, it was funny because the hardest minigame for me, even on difficulty 3, was the puzzle one. And that was because Scat just kept messing up my progress. There's a lot more pieces and everything, and like some of the pieces, like I was having a hard time figuring out where they even went. I was like, I know it's the suit, but his entire body is the suit, so I have no idea where this tiny little triangle goes. So as I was trying to figure out where things were going, and I did realize that they did actually have like a sound effect to tell you if the piece was in the right spot or not. As well as the fact that the piece locked in. Just as I would figure out where a piece would go, Scat would come and jump on it. And I think in the playthrough I did, it was like it happened like 3 times in that one session. So, yeah, it took me a while to get that done, but all the other minigames weren't very difficult necessarily. They were a little bit longer in their execution. But, yeah, not so much a challenge for obviously a 30-year-old adult outside of the target age range, but probably a good challenge for kids inside the age range. I am kind of interested to know if we quit, do we get credits again, or does it just say
Toyland,
quit?
press the green yes button to leave Toyland.
Jill, your voice changed suddenly. Are you okay? Are you sick? Nope, we don't get credits. Just boots me back up to my desktop. I mean, obviously it's a kid's game, so it was very cute. The audio being completely off from what was going on the screen, it's very reminiscent of a 90s computer game for me. That's just kind of par for the course, basically, for me. I would change it in editing, however, I guess because it's such a product of the time, I guess, I like keeping it in. One, so that people know that I'm not just having like a delayed reaction to what's going on screen. Like, it's actually the audio just coming in a little later than usual. I guess it kind of holds up for that nostalgia. Just because, again, it's like I want to try to preserve these games to the best of my ability. I want to preserve them in the best way possible. So basically, as they are. I mean, regardless, I still really like this game. I'm really glad I was able to get it, new in the box. And obviously, I am not going to get rid of this. It would be kind of fun that, one day if I have kids or something like that, to show them the movie and then let them play the game afterwards and just kind of like see how they like it and everything and make that kind of like our Christmas tradition, I suppose. But yeah, not too much else to say about it. But I am interested to know, did you guys actually know about this movie and or the game itself when you were younger? Did you have it? Did you watch it at a friend's house? Did you play the game at a friend's house when you were younger? Did you have it like in your computer lab at school or something like that? If this is your first time experiencing it, you know, let me know. How does this differ from some of the other Christmas movies that are out there? Like, you know, are you going to go watch it yourself? Does it interest you? I don't know. I will say, if you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and watch it. As I said before, if you want to see it, you can actually for free on Pluto TV. So, it's out there. Go ahead and watch it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a happy holiday, regardless of whatever you celebrate. Happy winter holiday. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.